All right, so Dreamforce 2024. Huh. What a whirlwind. All that talk about AI, especially from, big names like Jensen Huang over at NVIDIA and, of course, Salesforce's Mark Benioff. But let's get real for a second.
Right. Like, what does it all actually mean?
Exactly. We're cutting through the hype in this deep dive, figuring out what these AI developments actually mean for businesses, for, people listening right now. No more tech jargon, just practical stuff.
Exactly. We're talking real-world
We're
applications.
going to be talking about AI agents,
Mm.
like actually working as your colleagues. We're going to be talking about all the energy this is going to take to run. And of course, trusted AI. Everyone's talking about it, but what is it?
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Both Jensen and Mark seem to be painting a future where AI isn't just this tool we use. It's like AI is actually in the game, making decisions, taking actions.
Yeah, Benioff's big announcement, Agentforce. AI agents running the show.
Mm.
It's kind of mind-blowing. I mean, how far off is this, really?
It does sound a bit sci-fi, right? But honestly, it's probably closer than we think. Think of these AI agents like specialized programs designed to analyze data, make decisions, and do tasks all across your business. Sales, service, marketing, you name it.
So like a team that never sleeps
Yeah.
instantly analyzes all your customer data
Yeah.
and personalizes everything.
Exactly.
That sounds like a dream for, well, anyone running a business.
Yeah.
But wait, Huang was also talking about these AI agents working together, right? Not just for us, but with each other.
Yeah. That's where it gets really interesting, right? It's
Yeah.
like AI is not just a tool anymore. It's like a collaborator.
Whoa.
Imagine you have all these AI agents and they're not just working for us. They're like forming networks, collaborating, solving problems together in ways that, we might not even think of. It's a whole new level.
Okay, so we've got these super powered AI agents working together, making decisions, like that. But let's get practical for a sec. How does any of this actually make businesses more efficient?
Well, think of all the, the routine stuff your team does every day, data entry, scheduling, answering those basic customer questions. AI can automate a lot of that,
Oh, cool.
which frees up your people to, to think strategically,
Yeah.
to do the things that really need a human touch,
So it's not about replacing people.
Mm.
It's about helping them work smarter.
Exactly. Smarter, not harder.
Okay, that's reassuring.
Yeah.
But, you can't talk about AI without talking about energy. I mean, Huang himself mentioned it.
Right.
All these powerful AI agents, all this processing, it's got to take a lot of energy, right? Isn't that kind of a, contradiction?
It's a valid concern, for sure. I mean, training these AI models and then actually running them, it does take a ton of energy. But remember, Huang also talked about how AI can actually help us optimize our power grids, make them more efficient, cut down on waste. It's a complex issue, but potentially AI could actually be part of the solution to the energy problem it creates.
Huh. That is interesting.
It's a bit of a paradox, right?
Yep.
But that's AI for you, I guess. Always pushing the boundaries. And speaking of pushing boundaries, yeah, AI needs all this energy, but it can also help us use energy better.
It's true. So many layers to this whole AI thing. And, this whole trusted AI thing was everywhere at Dreamforce.
Mm-hmm.
Benioff's chat with Sam Altman from OpenAI really brought it home. Why is everyone suddenly so worried about trusted AI? And what does it even, I don't know, what does it even mean?
I think it means we're moving past that, that initial, wow, look what AI can do phase.
Yeah.
And we're starting to think about, okay, so how do we actually live with this thing?
Right.
Trusted AI, it's about making sure that these, these increasingly powerful systems that they're actually aligned with, with human values.
Yeah.
That they're safe, that they respect privacy, that they're used responsibly.
So it's not just about avoiding, the robot apocalypse.
No, it's bigger than that.
It's about making sure that AI in business is actually, making good decisions,
Yeah.
ethical decisions. Like, what if an AI suggests, I don't know, a brilliant business move, but it's based on bad data or biased data?
Exactly. We need to be able to trust that these systems are giving us recommendations that are good for business, but also, good for the world.
That makes sense. So how do we actually build that trust? I mean, it's not like there's a trustworthy label on AI, right?
Right. It's going to take a lot of work. I think it requires, transparency, like how are these algorithms made? How are they trained? And accountability, right?
Yeah.
Like what happens when things go wrong? And honestly, just an ongoing conversation about, the ethical implications of all this.
It sounds complicated.
It is.
And this kind of brings us back to something you mentioned earlier about jobs.
Yeah.
all this AI, all this automation is going to change the workforce, right? I mean, that's a huge deal.
It is, and it's something we need to be talking about now, like how do we make sure that the benefits of AI are shared fairly?
Mm-hmm.
And what about the people whose jobs are, directly affected by AI? How do they learn new skills? How do they thrive in this new world?
So many questions.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's think about the people listening to this right now. They're running businesses, they're trying to keep up with all this AI stuff. What's like the main takeaway for them?
I think the biggest takeaway is that early adoption is key. Like the companies that figure out how to use these AI tools, they're going to have a big advantage.
It's not just about like reading the headlines, it's about actually doing something. But like, what does that even look like? What are we actually talking about here?
Well, imagine being able to predict what your customers want before they even know it,
Okay.
right? Like your marketing AI is analyzing all this data, seeing trends, and suggesting these hyper-personalized campaigns that just hit the mark.
Look at it like that.
Or what about optimizing your supply chain? Like, imagine AI analyzing shipping data, weather patterns, even like social media sentiment to make your deliveries as efficient as possible.
Wow. So we're talking like next level stuff here. But with all these AI tools and platforms popping up, where do you even, I don't know, where do you even start?
That's a great question. And honestly, that's a whole other deep dive.
Yeah.
But for now, I think the most important thing is just start experimenting. Figure out where AI can make the biggest difference in your business, and then just, jump in, see what works.
It feels like we're at this like tipping point. Things are about to change in a big way.
Absolutely. The question is, are you going to be a leader or a follower?
Yeah, leader or follower. I don't know, it's a big question. Kind of makes you think. I'm excited about all this, but I'm also a little, nervous, to be honest. It's
Yeah.
a lot to process.
It is, but I think, the important thing is that nobody's expecting you to be an AI expert overnight.
Right.
It's more about, getting the big picture, seeing the potential, and being ready to adapt because AI is going to keep changing.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Be AI aware, not an AI genius or whatever. But, we've been talking about businesses this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But what about us? Like,
Yeah.
as people, what skills do we need if AI is going to be doing so much?
That's a great question. And honestly, that's something everyone should be asking themselves, right? I mean, obviously, technical skills are going to be important.
Yeah.
Like, AI development, data science, all that.
Right.
But just as important are the things that AI can't do.
Yeah.
The things that make us human, like
Right.
critical thinking, creativity, emotional intelligence,
Yeah.
being able to solve those really complex problems.
So it's not just about the tech stuff.
Yep.
It's about being adaptable, being able to think for yourself and I guess, connect with people on a human level.
Exactly.
It seems like those skills are always going to be important no matter how smart AI gets.
Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
think that's really encouraging. I mean, yeah, the world's changing and AI is a big part of that.
Mhm.
But we have the power to shape how it's used. We
Right.
can learn the skills we need to, not just survive, but actually thrive in this new world.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a little more optimistic now. Cautious, but optimistic.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it.
This is a turning point, right? And it's up to each of us to figure out how we fit in. It's exciting. It's a little scary. It's a lot of things all at once.
It is, but that's what makes it so interesting, right?
Absolutely. This is just the beginning of the conversation, There's so much more to explore when it comes to AI.
Definitely.
So if you're listening, stay curious, stay informed, stay engaged. We'll be back with more deep dives into this fascinating topic, so be sure to subscribe and join us again. Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
And we'll be right here with you every step of the way.